This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Leone Spongebob SquarePants milk chocolate, the Spongebob mini milk chocolates, a 10-pack that we've got here, and this particular 10-pack was bought for €1.19 at a local Lidl supermarket. Spongebob SquarePants, we know it here in Germany as Spongebob Schwammkopf, which would mean Spongebob sponge head instead of square pants, which is a bit of a difference in translation that we've got there. Square pants, which in German means something like quadratische Hose. Square, no, that really isn't all that snappy. Schwammkopf is a lot quicker to say. Pause if you want to read what's written down here. Pause if you want to read the Best Buy date. Oh, until 2024, that's good. Pause if you want to read that, and pause if we want to read that when nothing is written. We've got all sorts of funny languages here, none of which I speak instead of that one. Polish, Slovakish, I think Slovenish maybe, Greek, hidden under a sticker. So pause if you want to read any of these, and pause if you want to read the nutrition table 1.5 times it seems. What have we got here? We've got sugar, 45 grams of sugar per 100 grams of chocolate. Okay, isn't that pretty? Milk chocolate, 40%. We've got skim milk powder, cocoa mass, some butter fat, palm fat. The best of fats, isn't it? Anyway, we've got Gary down here. He's called Gary in German. Isn't that great? It's always a bit of a weird thing when they start to actually translate the entire name. And there are a few funny occurrences with that in Harry Potter, when you've got in Italian a very different name for Mr. Severus Snape. So we've got the carton box, and it's not just carton, we've got a plastic bag inside as well. Nothing else is in here. Really reminds me of Schogetten with that tray that we are about to see on the inside. So really no writing at all on the plastic wrapper here. Take a look at I mean, my incompetence is really showing once again. Alright, here we have it. The licensed chocolate Spongebob SquarePants. Without legs, but with the square pants. You know, sometimes they miss certain details, and it would be funny if it in German this would work if you had just Spongebob Schwammkopf, you know, Spongebob sponge head, which was just being the head, but the trousers really unnecessary for the English Spongebob, or American Spongebob I should say. Let's take a look at one of these in detail. There's a lot more detail in here than I thought there would be, at least in the front. On the side, not so much. On the bottom, not so much either. Nothing on the back. But in the front, it is really a very, very pretty mold that they've made for SpongeBob here. Scent-wise, this very much smells like, not the greatest of chocolates quality-wise. It smells like a bit darker milk chocolate that is almost made with couverture. That's sort of the smell that I'm getting from this. It reminds me a bit of these advent calendars with that cheaper chocolate in there. Not quite as bad as that, but yeah, it doesn't really smell of milk chocolate that you would get in a Milka or Lind packet. No, definitely not. It smells alright though. Looks wise, it's alright as well. Let's take a bite out of this one. Okay, this is interesting. I expected there to be a lot more chocolate on here. We've got a very thin chocolate layer on the outside there, and a lot of that milk filling on the inside. And I also expected the milk filling on the inside to be, well, not as hard as it is. I thought it would be, yeah, soft, very malleable by your teeth, even by your tongue. And just the chocolate being a shell on the outside. But when I press this down here, can you see that? It's barely squishable, quite hard on the inside. It is not like Kinder chocolate. When you take a look at this like this could be like Kinder chocolate looks wise, but the filling on the inside is not nearly as creamy as that. Although I have to say that overall it is not bad at all. What is interesting is that while it doesn't taste all too great, and the chocolate itself does smell a bit cheap, maybe even. It's got with that filling sort of interesting milk filling, milk type filling that flavor-wise I've never tasted before. It doesn't taste great, but it doesn't taste bad, and it doesn't taste of chocolate as much as I would have thought when you've got, what is it here, Spongebob mini milk chocolates written on there. I thought there would be more chocolate, but the major part is really that milk filling. That's interesting, and it tastes alright. Not great, not bad. It's alright on the plus end of normal, I would say. Overall, I've got to admit that this is better than I expected. Many of these licensed products just taste like sheet, right? They look good, and these right here, I've got to say that from the front they look really good. That mold has been made very well indeed. But flavor-wise, many of these licensed products are, not great at all. This one right here is not how I expected it to be. I expected it to be a lot softer with that filling. I thought there was maybe more chocolate in there. I thought that the outside shell of chocolate, because this is a bit darker on the packaging as it is in reality. We even got the pupils in there. Isn't that great? But I don't know. It is softer chocolate-wise and a lot harder filling-wise, and I didn't expect it, but I still kind of like it, So I think I'm going to eat a few more of these, and I'll be back with you and the review sheet in just a second. Alright, the consumption process is complete, and we're ready to rate this with the review sheet. First impression-wise, I've got to say that the overall design of both the packaging and the little chocolates itself was fantastic, actually. Color-wise, everything just fits the theme perfectly. Then we've got Gary down here with that orange and blue down at the bottom. I mean, they can't fault them for the sticker. This is just because this is imported and they need to have German ingredients list and all that stuff on here if they want to sell this stuff here in Germany. But yeah, overall design of the packaging, design of the little chocolates themselves, yeah, I've got to say it's close to being perfect. So 1 out of 1 available point right there. Color-wise, similar story here. I thought that they would be a bit darker than they are, in person now, but I don't think anything was bad when it comes to color, because when you look at them, they look good. The inside of the filling looks good, and you always have some sort of discrepancy between the packaging and the individual chocolates that you actually get. So yeah, not a bad thing either. This little discrepancy in color there, just the norm, I guess. Consistency and texture-wise, I don't have anything to complain about either. I said that they were different than I thought they would be. But that's pretty much because I expected something different, because I'm used to something different. I've got to say that when I actually tried them and ate a few more of them, I really enjoy the overall consistency of this, because nothing really falls off the boat here. I mean, we've got two components. We've got the outside shell and then we've got the inside filling. The inside filling could be softer for my liking. I like when things are maybe a bit soft. We've got a harder shell and a softer core, but this is just not the theme that they were going for, and they didn't, under-deliver in any way, because they didn't say that the inside was soft. Overall, I've got to say, consistency-wise, a very decent product overall. Quite a homogeneous consistency that we have over here overall, but nothing bad at all, and I do enjoy these consistency-wise, definitely. Taste-wise, very similar story here. It tasted alright. I think that the overall taste, maybe the smell as well, could be a bit nicer. That's the only thing that I really want to complain about, the smell of these. They do smell cheaper than they taste. And when you eat them with a lot of... I mean, some people eat food with more breathing, some people eat food with less breathing. Maybe that could be an issue for some. Overall, I've got to say the taste was really decent. The smell was not that great. It smells cheaper than it tastes. That's what I want to say with that, and therefore not 5 out of 5 points in that regard. But overall, flavor-wise, the chocolate was fine. Very little chocolate, a lot less chocolate than I thought there would be. Also less flavor of chocolate than I thought there would be. But the inside filling was fine overall, and therefore I don't really want to complain too much about it. Overall, flavor-wise, I think 4 out of 5 is Maybe a bit of a more positive rating than I should give, because I'm positively impressed by this. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, but I don't think it's too far off the actual truth behind the product. 4 out of 5 there for the taste department. Themalization wise, 1 out of 1 available point, because overall this looked very much like it did on the packaging. Like when you bite into it, it looks almost the exact same. When you look at the detail that we've got here on the packaging, and then you look at the level of detail that we have here, we've got even the pupils, like in the eyes and all that. I've never seen something like that before. And here between the teeth, you've got that gap there. You can see very slightly. Yeah, they really produce very decent molds for this. And we've got a few air bubbles in here, but I shall not deduct any points for that. That's just how things are sometimes. Overall, yeah, it's definitely a lot better than I thought it would be. Therefore, 1 out of 1 available point. Overall, 9 out of 10 is therefore the final rating for the Spongebob SquarePants Milk Chocolates by Leone. The final words that I want to dedicate to this particular product is that if there were more products, more licensed products out there that would be as good as this one here is, I think the world of sweets would be a better place. Quite often when you've got licensed products, they are, well, edible at best, and usually they just put all the money into the license and the product itself is flavor-wise just garbage. And if you have that perspective, that outlook on products like these, then this one right here is a decent change. It's not high quality chocolate at all, that's not what it is, but it is better than the usual crap that you get with many of these licensed things, and it's actually enjoyable, I would say. Yeah, it really is. Maybe, once again, 9 out of 10 is a bit high, but I'm happy that this is for once a product that I would actually maybe buy again as a licensed product. That's certainly not a given with these sorts of products for me. If you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.